Let's Really Reform Our Schools, the article by Anita Garland. Factors contributing to the deterioration of the quality of American education are discussed in the article Let's Really Reform Our Schools by Anita Garland. The author argues that the situation with high school education in America is in a disastrous state. Good schools focus not on education but on maintaining a certain status, whereas the bad schools, for the most part, are trying to supervise criminals that prowl the halls. Garland further claims that extraordinary measures should be taken to solve existing problems. Thus, the article criticizes a number of existing approaches to high school education and suggests several reforms in relation to it. First of all, the article proposes to provide higher education only to those students who want to study. Despite the fact that the education system is built on the belief that everyone has the right to learn, not everyone wants to do it. Thus, Garland concludes that students attending school forcibly rather than voluntarily make it harder for everyone around them to either provide or receive a quality education. The author argues that violators of the order rarely appear in the classroom and are not afraid of punishment in the suspension form. However, being in school, they causes problems for both students and teachers. If such students are not obliged to go to school, then teachers will be able to focus on those who really need knowledge. Garland also responds to possible objections, explaining that such students do not study anyway but only appear on the lists. For those unwilling to attend high school, alternative paths are needed, which are yet to be developed. The above fundamental change will help introduce smaller reforms. Adopting a school uniform will relieve students of the urge to show their clothes to their peers, which will help them focus on their studies. Moreover, children from less wealthy families will be able to be judged by their intellect, and wealthier ones will have the opportunity to express themselves not only in outfits. Garland further suggests serving only healthy food in school cafeterias and teaching children the basics of good nutrition. The author also criticizes the sports competition system between schools, which quickly ruins the wholesome fun of sports. Firstly, inequality arises when more physically developed students become idols and humiliate less developed peers. Secondly, schools spend massive resources and time organizing competitions and preparing teams. Garland considers this approach unnecessary, as education should focus on programs beneficial to all students. The author invites entrepreneurs and professional teams to organize such competitions for interested students. The prom and its negative impact on the education of young people are further discussed. Garland describes the event as a nightmare that ruins young people's budgets, their self-image, and even their lives. The author emphasizes that the prom deprives students of concentration for several months, forcing them to think only about preparation. The event's atmosphere can also have a negative impact in the form of alcohol incidents and unplanned pregnancies. Thus, the article argues that American schools are not for entertainment but for learning. In the article Let's Really Reform Our Schools, Anita Garland highlights the issues of the declining quality of American high school education and suggests ways to solve them.